squads from Oklahoma duke it out for a spot in Kansas City's Final 16, and we are underway here at the Garvey Center. They make less than 60% of their free throw attempts, and Phillip goes 2 of 3 to start things off. That is one of the worst marks in the country, not just in this region, but in the entire NAIA. But they were excellent from the foul line last night, part of the reason why Peru State was not able to break back in the second half. Pull-up 3 by Josiah Lewis, who just committed that foul on the other side. It won't go on MacU's first possession. The other way, here's another 3 from Phillip. That time he connects. He was fouled on his first attempt, knocks down his second. But as that second half wore on, with Oklahoma Wesleyan shooting as well as it did from the floor, from deep, and from the foul line, there was no chance for the Bobcats to overcome that with everything else going the way that Oklahoma Wesleyan wanted. And MacU, which is a great defensive team, one of the best scoring defenses and overall defenses in their league this season, they are going to need to lock down Oklahoma Wesleyan much more than Peru State was able to yesterday. If they do, they're going to have a very good chance. But if they don't, that chance is close to 0. Mikkel Henderson splits around, flings it back up. Tough shot, it won't go, and Caleb Stokes secures the rebound. Talton lofts it up to a cutting Jaden Litsky. Litsky adjusts and finishes. Something else Okwu is adept at. Talton with the find, Litsky with the finish. 10-0 Eagles. 5 starters stayed on the floor out of that timeout, save for 1 for Mid-America Christian. Seth Hurd came off, Terrence Gaines came on. Gaines has the ball right now. Touches it off for Henderson. 3-pointer Henderson, left it short. Stokes with another rebound for Oklahoma Wesleyan. Ahead it goes for Talton. Couple of changes coming in now for MacU as Stokes triggers another 3, and it's true! Over top of Terrence Gaines. Unbelievable start for Oklahoma Wesleyan. We knew MacU was here watching at least the first half of Oku's game against Peru State. And they saw Dylan Phillip and company hit a ton of threes in that game, so they weren't expecting it, then they missed the memo because Oku not a good three-point shooting team on the season, as we said, but clearly feeling it here this weekend in Wichita. Pull-up jumper is good by Josiah Lewis, and Mid-America Christian is finally on the board. Smith preparing to bar off the advances of Amari Woods. Henderson down low for Hurd. This should be a good battle. Hurd against Litsky. Hurd battles in, wins it. Looking for a foul call as well. Visibly frustrated, but he still gets the finish. Litsky calling for the ball on the other side. He will spin around Hurd, and Jaden Litsky with the retaliation. Anything you can do, you know the rest. Dylan Phillip swatted off of his hand by Terrence Gaines. Phillip recovers. They've only got 7 seconds to go. Miller steps into a 3, too strong. Fight for the rebound. Still loose, and picked up finally by Eddie Smith for the Evangels. Behind the back pass, sets up Henderson, and Henderson cashes in for the 3rd time tonight. He's got a game-high 9 points. And MacU within single digits for the final 3 minutes of the first half. So great work on the officiating crew to make sure that it worked out right. 5.6 left. Talton back on the floor for the Eagles. All the way to the rim he goes. DJ Talton does it again. Right back onto the floor, right back into the score sheet. And Oklahoma Wesleyan has its largest lead of the game, 39-25, as the first half expires. Talton ran through the other exit. Oklahoma Wesleyan is going back to their locker room through the other side, and Talton goes through the exit that's typically been reserved for MacU. You see him exit stage right, DJ Talton. 3-pointer, Mikkel Henderson, no good. Defensive rebound by Phillip. Every basket here for Oklahoma Wesleyan extends their largest lead. Basket by Talton, who's got the ball right now as the first half expired. Will be a highlight reel for the Eagles for sure. Here he goes, kicks it up. Somehow it finds Litsky. When it's going your way, it's going your way. The Evangels nearly intercepted that pass. Instead, Litsky elevated, got it off the carom, and then stuffed it down. He's got 10. Okwu by 18. Pull-up 3 by Adkins off the side of the backboard. Right, though, into the hands of Josiah Lewis, who's already looking for a foul call, none coming. The honorable mention all-Sooner guard. Lewis also playing with 3 fouls, by the way, along with Hurd. And an important answer bucket here for the Evangels. Stokes navigates, finds Talton. Phillip will try another three. Why not? Dylan Phillip, good again. Just his second make tonight after he was 6 of 11 from downtown last night. He is on fire this weekend. Scoring drought now extending over 3 minutes for both teams. Close to 4 now for Oklahoma Wesleyan. Talton skips around. Phillip again will try to end this drought, and he does. He splashes down a 3. And a 19-point edge for Oklahoma Wesleyan, a new largest lead. This team is so hard to dredge out of their groove. Talon Miller with the steal. All the way he goes with the finish. OKWU up by 21 and 14 minutes away from another spot in the final 16 in Kansas City. Another takeaway, more points off turnovers, more Eagle excellence. Full timeout called by Mid-America Christian. Dylan Phillip makes himself available. Wilson, quiet day for him so far. He will pop up to a foul line jumper, and Jaden Wilson trying to change it. Just his second make from the floor, but he's got 6 points, 5 rebounds, and another strong game for the KCAC All-Freshman team member. Henderson will lead the charge. Second team All-Conference in the Sooner this year. Her first teamer, Seth Hurd. Sixth man of the year, Eddie Smith. He will try to answer with a foul line jumper. Front rim, no. Board put back by Hurd. That won't go either. Man, nothing going right for the Evangels in this game. That was a great look for Hurd. Better than 50% from the floor on the season. He is 1 of 5 tonight. Hardly missed yesterday. Missed only 1 or 2 shots. Today has only made 1. 10 on the timer. Amari Woods will take it. Left elbow extended. Good. What a shot by Amari Woods. Wilson marked the whole way by Lewis. Picked up his dribble and somehow forces it across the timeline. Woods now needs help. Talton now needs help. Mauled the whole way. It's stripped by Lewis. MacU wins that one. Lewis to the rack. Fouled by Talton on his way in. If that's against Talton, his day is done. Yes. Personal foul number 5 against Derek Talton Jr. And his day is done 5 minutes and 38 seconds sooner than he would have liked. We said it then that was now or never time for Mid-America Christian, but I'm going to double down on that all-in claim. It's now or never for Mid-America Christian. Second free throw good from Josiah Lewis, the New York native. 15 points is the deficit, 5:38 to play. Talton is done. Litsky is 1 foul away from joining him on the bench. Woods lofts it up, finger roll. Chef's kiss from the Oakwood bench, and a great finish from Amari Woods. He's got 9 now. Smith fakes the elevated 3. Instead, he will find Manyang, and a great decision from Eddie Smith. He has forced up a couple of threes in this second half to great effect. Convinced Okwoo and me that he was going to do it again. Instead, Magok Manyang knocks it down. His first make of the game. They've been great in the first round and in the regular season under his tenure. Won almost every single NAIA first round game that they've played with Gamblin as the head coach. They have struggled to get out of this round in that same time period, and they're running into a real heavyweight here in Oklahoma Wesleyan, no question about it. Manyang jumps up, leaves a couple of Eagles in his wake, and finishes. That's 2 straight makes by Magok Manyang. 13 points. Turnover. Henderson steals it. Lewis lowers the shoulder into Talon Miller. Count it, and the foul for Josiah Lewis. 2 straight makes for MacU. And if Lewis converts the and 1, they're down to a 10-point deficit. That is the 10th foul against Oklahoma Wesleyan. The next will be also the 10th on MacU. Talon Miller guilty of the foul, just his second. 10-point game. As we just reported to you, 5 minutes of game time ago, Okwoo had its largest lead at 23. Halved the deficit. Stokes, barely across the timeline. And remember, Oklahoma Wesleyan will be without DJ Talton for the remainder of this game. He is fouled out. Clutch situation here. They give it away. Manyang on a 2-on-2. Great help defense by Oak Woo, but there's a foul. They had the numbers defensively. And Caleb Stokes commits the foul. It was a 2-on-2, but Amari Woods and Taylor Miller are both coming back. You'll see them as trailers here. It was really a 1-on-1 and a 1-on-2 as Linsky came in to help. And there was no need for a foul there, and Stokes didn't believe there was one. They've been a favorite here in the KCAC to get back to the NAIA Final 16, and they hope beyond that once again. And they are now 3 minutes away from doing so. Wilson with the block on Smith. It goes out of bounds. That's the first block in a while for either team, but the third for Oklahoma Wesleyan. Freshman Jaden Wilson got a piece of it as it hit the bottom of the backboard. Quick trigger off the inbound, off the side of the backboard now, out of the hands of Mikkel Henderson. That's a force from Mid-America Christian. Yeah, they need points, but they did not need that shot right there. Stokes lofts it up. Linsky throws it down. The exclamation points on another trip to Kansas City for Oklahoma Wesleyan. Kevin Classo will let the shot clock expire and give it back to MacU one final time. Good rally in the second half by the Evangels, but it was not enough. Oklahoma Wesleyan will hold on. One more sub coming in for MacU. Connor Calavan returns to the floor as Quentin Woodson gets a curtain call and a hug from Josh Gamblin. Final second rings off. Oklahoma Wesleyan is off to the Final 16. Once again, the number 2 seed in the quadrant is through. Another spot and another trip to Kansas City for Donnie Boswick and Oklahoma Wesleyan. The KCAC champs are one of the final 16 teams standing in the NAIA tournaments. Great fight for Mid-America Christian. They trailed by as many as 23 and cut it down to single digits in the later stages of the second half. But it was not good enough. Oklahoma Wesleyan led for the entire game. And they cruise into the Final 16 once again. Taylor Miller's going to get another chance at it. And this time, oh, he had it upside down. He almost got it wrong unintentionally, but he gets it right. You would think that Taylor Miller and Oku would be used to this at this point. They have done a lot of net cutting, label placing, trophy holding, game winning over the last few years. But I'm sure this one feels just as sweet. Once again, Oklahoma Wesleyan regional champs and into the NAIA's Final 16.